Diablo Diablo's program continued. His voice took on a more intimate tone. Here's a thing Jack Kerouac said. What is that feeling when you're driving away from people and they recede on the plain till you see their specks dispersing? It's the too huge world vaulting us, and it's goodbye. But we lean forward to the next crazy venture beneath the skies. If you're missing someone tonight, know that I, Diablo Diablo, am too. It's an enormous sky out there with lots of stars above it and a lot of folks underneath it. And all of us, stars and human, are missing someone in the dark. But I, Diablo Diablo, think that if we're all out there missing someone, that means that we're all really together on that one note, aren't we? So none of us are really alone, as long as we're lonely. It is difficult to convey how mesmerizing Joaquin was in this passage, how passionate and moving, because so much of the magic was in the swing and tug of his voice, which he practiced in places where others could not hear him. If you read his words out loud, you may get an idea, but nothing is quite the same as hearing it through the speakers of a radio. Despite my curiosity, despite my grandfather, despite the debts we owed Miss Peregrine, ultimately I was here now for one reason alone, because from the day I met Emma, I'd known I wanted to be a part of any world she belonged to. Did that make me crazy, or was my heart too easily conquered? Maybe I could use a little metal on the inside, I thought. If I'd kept my heart better armored, where would I be now? Easy. I'd be at home medicating myself into a monotone, drowning my sorrows in video games, working shifts at Smart Aid, dying inside day by day from regret. You coward, you weak, pathetic child, you threw your chance away. But I hadn't. In reaching towards Emma, I'd risked everything, was risking it again every day. But in doing so, I had grasped and pulled myself into a world once unimaginable to me, where I lived among people who were more alive than anyone I'd known, did things I'd never dreamed I could do, survived things I'd never dreamed I could survive. All because I'd let myself feel something for one peculiar girl. Despite all the trouble and danger we found ourselves in, and despite the fact that this strange new world had started to crumble the moment I discovered it, I was profoundly glad I was here. Despite everything, this peculiar life was what I'd always wanted. Strange, I thought, how you can be living your dreams and your nightmares at the very same time. This is the recipe of life, said my mother, as she held me in her arms as I wept. Think of those flowers you plant in the garden each year. They will teach you that people too must wilt, fall, root, rise in order to bloom. Never be sad about the past. It has already happened, and you cannot change it. Instead, focus on what truly matters, being sad about the future. There are many reasons to be sad. You may be sad because you feel alone. The comforting thing about being alone is that everything that has ever existed also knows what loneliness feels like too. You may be sad because you are sad. It is okay to be sad. But if you are sad because happiness is fleeting, just remember that sadness is also fleeting too. When you are sad, it is okay to let yourself be sad. That is okay. Enjoy your sadness. One day, even your sadness will be over too soon. Violence has a taste, a smell, but most of all, it has a heat. The shadow stands in the street, engulfed in smoke, in fire, in wrath, in rage, basking in the warmth, and for an instant, light glances off a face, finding cheekbones, a chin, the barest hint of lips. For an instant, but it is not enough. It is never enough. One human holds so little heat, and it is cold again, hungry again, its edges blurring back into darkness, the way edges always do. It wants more, searches for the night, and finds a woman, a pistol, a bed, a couple, a kitchen, a cutting block, a man, a pink slip, an office. The whole city, a book of matches, just waiting to be struck. They slept under a tree near the overpass, side by side, on top of August's plastic sheet. Kerstin slept fitfully, aware each time she woke of the emptiness of the landscape, the lack of people and animals and caravans around her. Hell is the absence of the people you long for.